Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we got a bit of a lively button for you today. We're doing another custom button, and this one's really going to grab your attention. It's going to flash from blue to red. It's a bit like being arrested, and that's going to get people's attention very quickly. And we've got to use a bit of custom coding to do this today, but don't let that put you off. Any code that I write I'll put below the video, and you're welcome to use it and change it how you wish. So let's get started. First thing I need to do is enable our Visual Builder. And let's just add another button over here, and we'll work on this button. Just a simple Divi button module. There it is right there. Put in whatever you want your button to say up here, obviously, and the link just below there where you want to take people when they click on it. If you're linking to your own site, keep it in the same window. If you're linking to an external site, put it in a new tab so your site stays open. Okay, let's move on to our design tab. I'm going to pop my button into the middle, and the only other thing I really want to do to it is make it a little fatter. So I'm going to go down to button. I'm going to use custom styles for the button, and let's go down. I'm going to take the button icon off. I don't want an icon on there when we hover on it. And let's go down to spacing. I'm going to give it a bit of padding. I'm going to get 15 pixels left and right. Just put in the 15, it'll put in the pixels for you. Hit the little chain and it'll put in the opposite side for you. And I'll give it 30 left and right there. Great, that's absolutely fine. So I'm pretty much done with this button. Now to make it flash, we've got to write some CSS code, and to do that we need to give it an actual CSS class. So over in the Advanced tab, let's go to CSS IDs and classes, and we'll give it a class. We want to give it a class that sort of makes sense to you, that you can figure out what it is. So I'll say btn for button and fl for flash, btnfl. It's great. Now we can start coding our button. Okay, let's save our page changes and go over to our theme customizer, and we're going to write some code. Here's our theme customizer. To get to the theme customizer, go to your dashboard, down to appearance and customize, or you can go down to Divi and theme customizer. They're both exactly the same. And this is where we're going to write our code today. And I need to refresh this page because our button's not on it at the moment since I saved it. There we go, there's our button, and we gave it the class. All classes have to have a period or a dot in front of them, and then the class name, and the class name was btnfl. And let's open and close some curly brackets. And inside those curly brackets is where we're going to write our code. And the first thing we need to do, we're creating an animation, so we need to give it a name. So we're going to say animation dash name, and the name we want to give it, let's give it btfl. Don't want to give it the same as this one here, but we can give it something similar that makes sense. So it's button flash. And how long do we want it to take to flash between the colors? Well, pretty quick, so I'm going to give it a second. So we'll say animation duration, and let's say give it 1 second. And how many times do we want it to do it? Well, I want to keep it flashing so it really annoys people. So we'll say animation dash iteration dash count, and you can put in 1, 10, 50, 100, 500. I'm going to put in infinite. That way it's just going to keep on flashing until somebody hovers over it. Okay, so we created the animation now, but we haven't told it what we want it to do. We've given it a time and a name and how many times it's got to do whatever it's got to do. So to make it do what it's got to do, we're going to use keyframes. So it's at keyframes, and then the animation name that we gave it, which is btnfl. And then let's open and close some curly brackets. Inside here we're going to create the animation. Let's start off at 0% and give it a red background perhaps. So here we are. We've got 0%. Let's open and close some more curly brackets. And we'll say background red. And at 50%, let's copy this, we'll give it a background of blue. Now let's publish this and just refresh the page. As you can see, our button's flashing, but it's actually flashing red, then blue, then the original blue. So actually got three colors going on there, and the reason for that is we haven't gone all the way. We're only going up to 50%. So let's copy this first one and have it go back to red at 100%. So we'll drop down another one, paste that in there and change that to 100. We'll publish that and just refresh. Now it's just flashing from red to blue and back to red again. So it's nice and smooth from red to blue, which is great. Now, when I hover over it, I want it to stop flashing. And to do that, let's just copy our little class up here. And we'll create a hover state. So after the L there, with no space, I'm going to put a colon. And then no space again, and the word hover. Let's open and close some curly brackets. And I want to say background, let's leave it as blue background. Now we've got to overwrite the default styles because it's still flashing there. So let's put important after the blue and before the semicolon. So it's exclamation important. Now when we hover over it, it stops flashing, which is just exactly what we wanted. Now what I was saying before about the iteration count, if you only wanted it to do say 7 or 10 or 50 or 20 or whatever, just put in the number there. Let's put in 7. We'll publish this and then I'll refresh the page and you can count it off. That's why this one stopped flashing here. So let's refresh the page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's gone back to the default state. I'm going to continue to have mine on infinite. Now if you wanted to switch this round and have it just flash on hover, you could simply put hover colon, no space colon, and then no space hover here. And we can just delete this hover state here, publish, and that should go back to the default color. We may need to refresh the page again. Let's refresh the page. And as you can see, it's the default color, and when we hover over it, it's going to start flashing. So depending on how much you want to annoy your visitors when they do this, put it which way round you wish. So there you have it, guys. That's how to create a flashing button using a bit of CSS. I hope you've enjoyed that today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.